I think it's time to talk about costs. For organizations looking to successfully compete, all eyes are on what's racking up the big bills. Data. What's changed that's creating this need to control data? The move from VMs to containers has created an explosion of growth. Cloud-native environments actually emit between 10 times and 100 times more observability data than traditional VM-based environments. This brings up two challenges. One, observability data costs skyrocket and become a big budgeting item. Two, engineers are drowning in a flood of noise when trying to perform simple tasks like troubleshooting, which means longer incidents, which means impacted customers, which means higher costs with worse outcomes. It even ends up affecting your return on investment. Thanks for telling us what we're dealing with here, Sophie. Do you have any solutions? I know a few folks who do, but before we dive into what those 3 steps are, let's talk about what it all starts with. Step 0, if you will, centralized governance. Observability teams need to lay one crucial foundation: the ability to understand their organization's usage by team or service or whatever dimension is important. This allows for chargebacks or showbacks, and once observability teams have visibility into consumption, they can take steps to make it more predictable, like allocating portions of the observability system capacity with guardrails, like quotas. And now that we've actually cultivated an environment for allocating priorities and driving accountability, let's start with step 1 of the process: analyze. Scott, are you there?
Yeah, happy to help. So before taking action on their data, engineering teams must be able to analyze the incoming data in real time to address issues such as cardinality spikes. And they also need the ability to understand both the cost and the utility of the data. Just knowing if the data is used or not really isn't enough. To understand the cost, Chronosphere analyzes all of the incoming data with our traffic analyzer to show teams information about the cardinality and volume of the various data sets in real time and historically. To understand the value, we provide a metrics usage analyzer that allows teams to see the cost and value of their metrics side by side.
Interesting. So once you've identified the data, what can you do about it? You need strong refining capabilities. Julia, can you help us out?
Hi, Sophie. Sure. In order to refine your data, you'll want a few tools on both the write path as data comes into your system and also on the read path as data comes out of your storage system. On the write path, some of those classic tools are tools that let you drop metrics that are not being used at all today, things that you just don't need and don't want to pay for. And on the read side, you might have complex ways to query data that give you different relevant insights into your system. And you may want to store those under something like a new metric name, something that in Chronosphere we call a derived metric name. Makes it really easy for people to find and use, even if they're brand new to your system.
Kim, are there rules that we still need to put in place?
That's a great question, Sophie. You and your teams need insights into how effective your refining policies are so that you can make adjustments as necessary. Without this, your teams cannot ensure that they're using their assigned capacity or quota efficiently, which results in the organization not being able to maximize the return of investment of your observability practices. As TAMs, we also help you to identify and put the right policies and configurations in place that work best for your organization and scale. In other words, we help you to continuously adjust for efficiency. Let's have a closer look at the Query Accelerator. It continuously scans for slow queries and automatically creates a refined alternative. What I think that's really cool is that they can simply create a query that returns the data they need, and our Query Accelerator will ensure that it performs optimally wherever it is used.
That is very cool indeed. Now, with observability costs and data growth finally under control, your organization can actually do more with the time and savings and make their observability a competitive advantage rather than a cost center. Analyze, refine, operate. Thanks for listening, and catch you next time, where we can talk more about how you can set your team up for success in a cloud-native world.